Hey, it's Chris Murphy, the U.S. Senator from Connecticut, and what a night here in Washington, D.C. The President gave a great speech tonight in which he challenged this Congress to get over itself, get over the partisan divisions that have plagued this place for too long, and pass legislation that's going to move this country forward, whether it be in putting people back to work or in passing common sense gun violence legislation that can make sure that a tragedy like the one we are still living through in Connecticut never happens again. I was really privileged to have with me tonight at the U.S. Capitol two of the detectives, the Newtown detectives that first responded to Sandy Hook Elementary School and stayed on scene for several days afterwards. The fact is that this tragedy has first touched the families of those that were killed, but the grief spreads throughout the Newtown community, and the first responders are amongst the most articulate when arguing for new laws that can try to protect both families and kids and law enforcement from the gun violence that plagues way too many places in this country. The President did a great job of articulating why we need to pass common sense gun violence legislation. I was so glad that there were so many victims of gun violence in the audience today to challenge members of Congress to live up to the human toll that gun violence takes. I was really glad also to hear him talk about jobs in manufacturing. There's no way to rebuild our economy unless we're rebuilding American manufacturing. We're well on our way to a manufacturing renaissance, but that will be halted in its tracks if we start cutting funds for roads and bridges and job training programs, if we start continuing to sign free trade agreements that ship our jobs overseas. Manufacturing is going to lead the way to an economic recovery, and I love the fact that the President talked about that tonight. A good speech, a speech that I think sticks it to those in Congress that have been standing in the way of reform for far too long, and I hope that we take up his challenge and his message in the days, weeks, and months to come.